Welcome to Diligent Canine, and in this reflection video I'm going to talk about friends with dogs. This is something that I went back and forth on for probably the first 6 months, maybe longer, of having my dog Dean here. And that is how I want my dog to interact with other dogs. Now, I mentioned in other videos that at the time, I was pretty sure I wanted to get into protection sports. I knew that I wanted a working herding breed to kind of keep me more active. At the time, I was very active on the weekends, but really wasn't doing a lot Monday to Friday. So I wanted a dog that was going to kind of demand some energy of me. And I'd watched videos on socializing dogs and how I wanted my dog to interact with strange people and strange dogs, where the waters got really muddy in my mind. And this is a problem, because if I'm not clear on a subject, my dog definitely is not going to be clear on it, because I'm not going to be able to consistently ask the same thing from them. So I need my expectation to be clear, so that I can be fair to my dog and teach them how to behave around people and dogs. So, like I said, where things got really unclear, or it was difficult for me to have that boundary, was with my friends and with their dogs. Everybody loves to see a dog at a party. Everybody likes to pet dogs. Well, not everybody, obviously, but dogs are awesome. You wouldn't be watching this video if that wasn't the case. So it was hard for me to reconcile that my dog won't be one of those dogs. And it's not that he's some sort of vicious killer or that he can't behave around other dogs. He's met all my friends' dogs. That is true. They have been at yard parties and house parties together. But the difference is my dog stays on a leash and a harness, and he stays next to me, and he doesn't run and play with the other dogs. Like I said, I've gone to lots of parties, breweries, cookouts. I bring my dog to them because I want him to be exposed to that stimulus. But like I keep saying, it was really difficult, because it's a lot easier to tell a stranger, no, I don't know you. Of course you can't pet my dog. And I'll do a video on socialization if it hasn't come out by the time this drops as well. But it was really hard to tell my friends, no, you can't pet my dog. And to come up with a reason why. Because a lot of them are, well, in fact, all of my friends are pet dog owners. One is a trainer, but none of them do dog sports. So that became my responsibility, which is what I didn't understand at the beginning. It wasn't my responsibility to be angry with them. It was my responsibility to educate them and to explain to them what are the reasons for that I don't want people to pet my dog. Just educate your friends, just like you would have a conversation with them about anything else. Even your friends, you won't agree with things all the time, but that doesn't mean you dislike each other. It just means you have different viewpoints. And unfortunately, one of those things is dogs, or can be dogs. And with that, there tends to be a lot of emotion attached to dogs, because we care about our pets, we care about our dogs, something that you invest a lot of time and money into, and that you have an emotional attachment to. Now, I never had like an argument with a friend about them not petting my dog, but it was interesting to see some of the responses. Sometimes when we would be out in a public place, my friends would come up, give me a hug, greet me, and greet my dog, and some of them respectfully saw the patch, saw the harness, and it was never an issue. It never even got brought up. They never even asked. And some other people might forget, and I would tell Just like I would correct my dog, I wouldn't get mad. I would just say, hey, can you please not pet my dog? And it wasn't really a problem. Other people were curious, and that's totally fair. That's, again, I should not get mad at other people for asking the right questions. Okay? I should not get mad at people who ask to pet my dog, even though he's got a harness and a patch in 2-inch letters that says "Do not pet" on both sides. Just say no. Don't invest the emotion in it. It's not worth it. It's just going to make your day worse and add stress to the situation and paint the wrong picture for that person that maybe just asked. They were doing the right thing by asking. Some people do get offended when you explain in detail to them why you don't want them to pet your dog, but that's really getting off on a separate issue, and it really has to do with them than it does for you. Standing up for your dog, standing up for yourself, and you're having good boundaries, clear boundaries for you, your dog, and other people. But another thing that I had to kind of settle with was parks, not like dog parks, but parks, human parks, state parks, things like that. And of course I take my dog hiking and lots of places like that, but also rock climb. And this is where I had some other issues, and I've talked to other dog owners in the climbing community as well. For some reason, people think that like leash laws don't apply when you're rock climbing. Just because you're out in the wilderness, that you don't need to leash your dog or maintain some sort of control over your dog. And that's not true. Anybody who is involved in rock climbing knows that some of the more popular, even outdoor areas, get almost as much traffic as an indoor gym, especially on a crisp winter day. So where I saw this be an issue was people that would endlessly reassure me of how friendly their dog was and have no awareness of the dog's rigid body posture, their heckled up fur, their tight mouth, their pinned ears. That dog is not friendly. Something is very obviously wrong, at least in the dog's mind, and then people can't see that. And they don't have leashes on the dogs. You're asking for something terrible to happen. The logic of, I don't need a leash on my dog because they're so magically well behaved, that's like saying you don't need to wear a seatbelt because you haven't got killed in a car wreck yet. What are you waiting for? So the summary of my reflection here is that it's easy to tell strangers to not pet your dogs, and it's difficult with your friends and your friend's dog. And that's something I didn't consider necessarily, how or that it was confused in my brain, or like I had compartmentalized those things where I thought I could have like a strong, bold, defensive protection dog, but then I'd also have a fun dog at the party. And that neither one is better or worse. Neither one is right or wrong. But they can't be the same. There are some facets of owning a dog and training a dog and activities for your dog that are incompatible with each other. I'll talk about this more in some selection testing videos, but the difference between like a therapy dog and a protection dog, I might use the same scale, but the scores are going to be inverted. And this is something that has been mentioned, I think it was on Cameron Ford's podcast as well, that he talks about that wanting an assistance dog and a police dog, he just used the same test, but inverted the scores. So, one was going to be very outwardly aggressive, and the other would be very reserved and passive and dependent to the handler, not independent. So I hope that clarifies some things or helps give you some food for thought, thank you for watching and for your support of military and working dogs.